Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Brooklyn 10 light double shade rectangular pendant. This is the 13-12-05. There's a circular version of this as well as a mini pendant, so check them out, as well as sconces and semi-flushes. That whole Brooklyn collection is pretty awesome. So let's get into size of the fixture itself, and it's going to be 7.4 inches high, and that's going to be from the ceiling to the bottom, the bottom of the glass on this. And then left to right, the length of it's going to be 44.5. The depth on it is coming in at 10 inches, and that's really your canopy. Actually, it's your canopy plus the fixtures on the bottom as well. Okay. Overall height, now we're talking about the distance from the ceiling to the bottom of the fixture. You're going to have two versions of this, and one is going to give you the opportunity to be as short as 10 inches all the way to 80 overall height. The other one's going to be as short as 10 and all the way to 130, which should take care of most of you guys out there. If you need this to be longer than 130 inches, what you would do is drop me a quick email. So you're looking at the 13-12-05 and tell me what overall height you're looking for. You know, is it going to be 180? Is it going to be 200? Is it going to be 220? Usually I can max out about 240 overall height as a custom. But I need your email, which I'm going to send over to Hubbardton Forge's customs department, where they're going to give us an answer. And then it's a little bit more time and money, but we do it every day. It's not a big deal. You're going to be staggering these fixtures on the bottom, which is a great look. I think you can also have them side by side, but staggering, I think, is the way to go. That's just me. Okay, so let's move on, and I want to talk about a couple quick things. I want to talk about the canopy up on the ceiling, because there's going to be a bit of information there. Before we go there, let's dive into the installations instructions, because that's going to give you an inside look into that canopy. On that side of the screen, midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say, click here for installations instructions PDF. So open that up for me. Excuse me. It's going to show you tons of good information. It's going to show you a full parts list. It's going to show you how the canopy goes onto your J-box, your 4-inch J-box, and other points on that canopy that you actually attach it to your ceiling. Those are things that you want to either see yourself or send. You can take that same link and you can email that over to your installer so they know what you're going to be doing in the future. Canopy is 44.5 by 8.5. It's about that thick because it is holding a driver for the low voltage LEDs that are down below. So that's why it's on that thicker side. Another thing about that canopy is what's called the canopy can, and that's going to be the sides of the canopy are going to be in the finish that you chose for the fixture on that pull down menu. However, the face plate that faces the bottom is always going to be in black, so it's something you want to know as well. When you feed these cables up into that canopy, they're going to be going into something called a gripper. And the gripper are those little silver pieces you see, and like I said, they go inside and they grip, so they can't go up and down during that installation. But if you want to kind of put this up and then play around with it and kind of get it exactly where you want it to be, because you want these to be all level, don't forget, you can take your thumbnail and you can push in that gripper and it becomes a release. So it's going to free it up so you can kind of bring these down. You're not going to cut any wires until you have this exactly the way you want it, and that's when you guys cut those wires and make your attachments up in the canopy. So that's your canopy thing. Let's talk about finish on this. And you're going to notice, again, you've got that pull-down menu for the fixture, and then you have a pull-down menu for the accent. So the fixture, like I said, is the can of the canopy. It's going to be this part right here, which is going to be just below your cables, right, and above your socket, that little part. But it's also going to be the top shade. And these are hand-forged shades. I can actually see variation on this one because it's in dark smoke, which is a translucent finish, which is our best-selling finish. So this is going to go on first, right? And then Hubbardton's going to be using these beautifully milled retaining rings. And this is almost like aircraft quality. I'm amazed at how beautiful these are. They go way beyond what they need to for this kind of stuff. So, okay, so that's on there. So remember, pull-down menu for the fixture is going to be part of the can on the canopy, and it's going to be basically what you see here. And then the second one is going to be choose your finish for the accent. And the accent's going to be the lower shade, which is our friend here. This is modern brass, and this is going to go on next. And I'm going to use another one of these retaining rings to keep it on. Goes on just like that, super fast. And then you put in your bulb, and then you're going to be putting on this. And this is about a 4-inch diameter Opal glass ball. Okay, it's opaque, you're not going to be able to see anything through it. Has another one of these retaining rings embedded inside of it, and that just gets screwed on as well. Takes just a second. Voila. So look at that. So you have this whole wonderful little thing going on, and you can play around with this and kind of play designer. So these move. So you can move them and have them all like that. You can have them more open. Let's say you're going to have way in your dining room where you're going to be looking at these from the side. Okay, you might want to do that. But it's really up to you. You get to play designer in this whole thing. Now, the very important thing we need to talk about is the bulb. So it's going to be using what's called a G4. Okay, and you can see that socket, the G4 socket next to me in that picture. 4-watt LED max in each of these, and you have 10 of these, don't forget. So your socket has 2 little holes in it, and the bulbs have 2 little prongs, and they just push right in. Very simple. So I said that you have a 4-watt max in each of these. You don't need to go that high if you want to. A 4-watt max G4 LED is the equivalent of a 40-watt halogen. However, a lot of you guys can go down from there too. So the smallest you will find out in the marketplace for this bulb is going to be a 1.5 watt, and that's the equivalent of a 20-watt halogen. You may elect to go there because you've got, again, 10 of these. And this is a dimmable fixture, so don't forget about that. You could go for the 10 4-watt G4 LEDs and just dim it down, so you can go there too. That may be the way to go. When you're looking online for these things, that's the best way to find these bulbs. These very specialty bulbs. I would go to Amazon. In that search bar, I would put in G4 LED, Opal, and do it on your computer. Don't do it on a phone, because you want to be able to see all of these things in a big screen. Up will pop a big page of these things. It's going to give you a lot of options. It's going to give you options for dimmable or non-dimmable. Don't forget you want to do dimmable. It's going to give you the option for the color of the light, which I talk about all the time with LEDs. 2700 Kelvin will most likely be offered there. That's a super yellow light, almost an orange light, and almost like you've taken an incandescent bulb and dimmed it down. So it's going to be that color of light, which is fine. And don't forget, you've got 10 of these, so you don't have to worry about getting too much light out of this, right? On the other side of that is going to be called daylight, which is a big misnomer. People think daylight is a warm setting sunlight. It's not. That's a whitish blue light. That's outdoor light is a white blue. And that's like a cold hospital waiting room. So that's going to be 4,000, 5,000 Kelvin on the Kelvin scale. In the middle is what's called warm white, and that's this. See the light coming down on my hands? This is a 3,000 Kelvin LEDs above me. So you should be able to find these bulbs in that too. It's really up to you which ones you get. My choice is always going to be that 3,000 Kelvin, and I would probably go for, if I could, the 4 watts in each of these and just put it on a dimmer. So I want to touch on Hubbardton Forge's glass for just a second. Hubbardton Forge's Opal glass is not just another piece of white glass. This is actually hand-blown glass. All of their glass is hand-blown. And to begin with, it's actually a clear piece of glass to start with. And then they come in, they blow a second layer on the inside of white glass. Then they come back and they do a third step where they sandblast the entire outside. So you'll notice when you get these in your hands, they actually have layers of glass on them on the end. You can see them on these two pieces, and it gives it this really soft, semi-transparent, kind of milky quality. It's a soft glowing piece. Really pretty. You know, they're really obsessed about details at Hubbardton Forge, and a lot of people don't. I don't think they appreciate it out in the world, but you appreciate it because that's why you guys are here watching this video. There you go. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you're on our website, HandmadeInVermont.com, do me a favor, look over on the left-hand side of the screen. You're going to see a lot of red tabs over there. One is going to be the Finishes Help Guide. When you're done with this video, go over there and open that up for me, and you're going to see a video at the top of that page of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes and how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a color chart just below the video, so scroll down a little bit, you'll see that chart. You'll notice there are pictures that have the letter A on them, pictures that have the letter B on them, and I'm going to be talking about that range you can see in variance on there in that video. So it's really important to watch the video, use that chart. When you're done with all that, come back down to that chart. You can click on any of those pictures and see a lot more samples of Hubbardton Forge fixtures in that finish. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in dark smoke, click on dark smoke. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in vintage platinum, do the same, and so on and so on and so on. That's a great way for you to see a lot of Hubbardton Forge stuff in different finishes and really take advantage of that, okay? So our showroom in Vermont has over 350 Hubbardton Forge fixtures spread across 2 floors. We have a What's On display page on our website. It's going to be back in the red tabs over there. A lot of good things in that section. Check out. So when you open that up, you'll see it's all divided up into different sections like dining pendants and outdoor lighting. We're always adding to that. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. They don't even have a showroom like this. Nobody does. And they use this as their showroom when you guys come to Vermont to visit us. So lots and lots to see here. You can see all the different glass, all the different finishes, all the different fabrics, all of those things. In addition to that, we have a clearance center. So the clearance center stuff are returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. That's an amazing deal for you. If you guys want to take advantage of that, you have to come here to Vermont to see us. And when you do me a favor, measure all the kind of things about your project and what you guys are doing. So the most important thing is measure your ceiling heights to begin with. Measure distances between junction boxes and like windows and ceilings and those kind of things. So if you're looking at sconces on the wall, you can see if they're going to fit for you. If you're doing pendants over a kitchen island, measure the distances between those junction boxes. Widths of tables, kitchen tables, dining tables, lengths of tables, islands, all that good stuff. And also do a couple more things. If you guys have some tablets or iPads laying around, take pictures of all these things. Take pictures of the kitchen, take pictures of the projects you're doing. Bring that in so we can kind of go through those pictures together and we'll be able to see what you guys are up to, okay? And also the boxes and clearance stuff, for clearance stuff, are basically packed for shipping. Don't forget, these were supposedly shipped out. So the boxes tend to be on the bigger side, so bring a decent size SUV if you want to take stuff home. It's a really good opportunity for you. When you buy your Hubbardton Forge fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. There's no tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. We're the only dealer that offers 90-day returns and no restocking fees. That's 3 months after you receive something to send it back, and there's no restocking fee on that. Some larger items and custom things, and it's usually going to be big things on pallets, are going to be non-returnable. It'll always tell you on the page for an item if that is the case, so always keep an eye out for that. And we also offer a rush program. So to get all these different metal finishes, Hubbardton Forge doesn't stock. They generally take about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. We can cut that time in half, and it's really, really inexpensive. If you want to know more about that, just drop me a quick email, and I can clue you in on details, okay? So our showroom in Vermont is open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to drop a quick email, you can do that all the time. And that's going to be at sales@HandmadeInVermont.com, and we spell out the word Vermont. Or you can call me during business hours, 802-446-2400. So thank you for stopping in today, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.